The parents of a child killed in the massacre at a Texas elementary school and a fourth grader who said she played dead will testify before Congress next week about gun violence. The Committee on Oversight and Reform announced Friday that Mia Cirillo, a student at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, will speak at an upcoming hearing titled The Urgent Need to Address the Gun Violence Epidemic. The hearing, scheduled for June 8 at 10 a.m., will feature the families of victims of the Uvalde shooting and last month's allegedly race-motivated shooting at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York, as well as local medical and law enforcement officials from both shootings and gun control advocates. After the shooter opened fire in her classroom and continued to shoot in an adjoining room, Cirillo told CNN that she and a friend grabbed their dead teacher's phone and called 911 for help. Fearing the gunman would come back, she covered herself in a dead classmate's blood and played dead, she said in a harrowing account days after the May 24 attack. Her mother said her daughter is traumatized by what she experienced. The child also suffered a wound on her back from a bullet fragment, her mother said. 10-year-old Alexandria Lexianaya Rubio was one of the 19 children killed in the shooting. Her parents, Felix Rubio and Kimberly Rubio, will also testify during the hearing, the committee said. Just hours before she was killed, a smiling Alexandria posed with her parents after receiving a certificate for being a straight-A student, her family said. She also received a Good Citizen Award. We told her we loved her and would pick her up after school. We had no idea this was goodbye, her mother wrote on Facebook the day her daughter died. Alexandria aspired to earn a college softball scholarship and major in math before attending law school, her family said in her obituary. A visitation service for Alexandria will be held 2 days after the hearing, with her funeral on June 11. Dr. Roy Guerrero, a pediatrician who treated several victims in the shooting, will also be among those testifying. I lost it for a little while, he told Today in an interview days after the attack. And that's okay, but I told myself to get it together. I have to take care of the rest of these kids. I can't lose myself. The hearing also falls a week after a deadly shooting at a medical office in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which marked the 233rd mass shooting in the U.S. so far this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. After 19 innocent children and 2 teachers lost their lives in Texas just 10 days after the mass shooting in my home state of New York, I'm turning my anger into action, Representative Carolyn Maloney, the chairwoman of the Committee on Oversight and Reform, said in a statement. Our hearing will examine the terrible impact of gun violence and the urgent need to rein in the weapons of war used to perpetrate these crimes. That includes legislation to ban assault weapons and expand gun background checks, the committee said. In the wake of the mass shootings, President Joe Biden called for a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, among other gun reform measures, during an impassioned address Thursday night. We spent hours with hundreds of family members who were broken, whose lives will never be the same, Biden said. They had one message for all of us. Do something. Just do something. After Columbine, after Sandy Hook, after Charleston, after Orlando, after Las Vegas, after Parkland, nothing has been done. This time that can't be true. This time we must do something. The House Judiciary Committee on Thursday voted along party lines, 25-19, to approve the Protect Our Kids Act and send it to the full chamber for a vote next week. The bill, which would raise the purchasing age for semi-automatic rifles to 21, limit large-capacity magazines, create safe storage requirements and tighten regulation of ghost guns, lacks the 60 votes needed to pass in the Senate.